You want to start with 3, 2, 1? Good? Yes. Okay. Welcome to the Hawaii Board of Chiropractic April 29, 2026 meeting. We will start the meeting. We will start with a short video.
Welcome to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting.
When the meeting begins momentarily, the chair will take a roll call, explain any specific rules for this particular board, and then move to public comment. The name of the board member will appear on the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. For instance, this is board member Y, and this is board member E. Public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. You can indicate that you are ready to testify by clicking on the Raise Hand button being circled by the mouse on your screen now. At the appropriate time, the board will recognize you to speak and ask you to unmute your mic as shown here. Again, public testimony will be accepted at the beginning of the meeting and before each agenda item. Public attendees will not be able to unmute their microphone until recognized by the board. Public attendees who are recognized to testify will be asked to identify themselves by name and their affiliated organization if applicable. Please mute your microphone when you are finished speaking as a courtesy to others and members of the board. Public attendees will not be able to unmute themselves after the testimony is completed unless recognized again after raising their hand. At some point during the meeting, the board may choose to move into executive session. When the board moves into executive session, the board members' microphones and video feeds will be turned off, and a similar screen as you see now will be displayed. When the board returns from executive session, their microphones will be turned on as well as their video cameras.
Welcome again to the Professional and Vocational Licensing Virtual Board Meeting.
At this time, the chair will call the meeting to order and take a roll call, as well as explain any additional rules that may be specific to this board.
Yeah, no, right.
For internet access to view the meeting and provide live oral testimony, please use the link at the top of the agenda. You will be asked to enter your name. The board requests that you enter your full name, but you may use a pseudonym or other identifier if you wish to remain anonymous. You will also be asked for an email address. You may fill in this field with any entry in an email format. Example, @mail.com. Your microphone will be automatically muted. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may click the raise hand button found on your Zoom screen to indicate that you wish to testify about that agenda item. The chairperson will individually enable each testifier to unmute their microphone. When recognized by the chairperson, please unmute your microphone before speaking and mute your microphone after you finish speaking. Phone access. If you cannot get internet access, you may get audio-only access by calling the Zoom phone number listed at the top of your agenda. Upon dialing the number, you'll be prompted to enter the meeting ID, which is also listed at the top of the agenda. After entering the meeting ID, you will be asked to either enter your panelist number or wait to be admitted into the meeting. You will not have a panelist number, so please wait until you are admitted into the meeting. When the chairperson asks for public testimony, you may indicate you want to testify by entering star and then 9 on your phone's keypad. After entering star and then 9, a voice prompt will let you know that the host of the meeting has been notified. When recognized by the chairperson, you may unmute yourself by pressing star and then 6 on your phone. A voice prompt will let you know that you are unmuted. Once you're finished speaking, please enter star and then 6 again to mute yourself. For both internet and phone access, when testifying, you will be asked to identify yourself and the organization, if any, that you represent. Each testifier will be limited to 5 minutes of testimony per agenda item. If connection to the meeting is lost for more than 30 minutes, the meeting will be continued on a specified date and time. This information will be provided on the board's website. Instructions to attend State of Hawaii virtual board meetings may also be found online, the website.
Okay, Chair, you may start.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. We'll take a roll call. Let's see, I see Dr. Ogawa.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, you're here. And Dr. Klein, you are here. I am here. I don't see any other board members. Well, with that, we have a quorum with 3 of us. There's no other board members on, right? No public board members?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, is there any member, there's no public people here, is there? The 2 that are here, Julie and Tony, are state people?
Yeah, Julie is our administrative assistant helping with a board meeting, and then Tony is office assistant helping with a Zoom meeting. And then
Cool.
we have Nancy here. She's a new EO for chiropractor.
Oh, very good. Nice to meet you. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Okay, the first item on the agenda is going to be approval of the last minutes. And I have a correction on page 2, 3rd paragraph, 4th paragraph. It has my name on it and I wasn't at the meeting. So my guess is that was for Vice Chair Klein. I would think, but I'm not sure.
Chair, in that case, did you want to make a motion to approve the regular session minutes subject to those corrections?
Sure. We can do that. It's just who was it moved by and seconded? Do you have to establish that before we approve it?
That would probably be best. We could, or another option is we could just later on go look at the public recording and then just make the corrections accordingly.
Oh, okay. Unless Dr. Klein, my guess is that was you, right? Or do you remember?
Yes, it was Dr. Klein. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I guess with that correction, anybody have any other changes? Okay. I'll make a motion. We accept the minutes as corrected.
And I'll second that.
Seconded by Dr. Ogawa. All in favor say aye. Dr. Ogawa.
Aye.
Dr. Klein. Was that it? I couldn't hear. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing. And I'll say yes on that too. So motion carries on that. Okay. Then we have to move into executive session to do the approval for the executive session minutes. Is that not correct?
The approval itself has to be in open session. The executive session is only if you guys want to discuss it. If you guys are ready to go ahead and approve it, though, you could just do it now if you'd like.
Okay. I wasn't at the meeting, so either of you, Dr. Ogawa or Dr. Klein, have any comments on the executive session that we should move to executive session to discuss it? That's a no? Okay. Okay, if that's a no, I'll move we accept the executive session minutes of the last meeting.
And I'll second that.
Seconded by Dr. Ogawa. All in favor, Dr. Klein?
Aye.
Dr. Ogawa, aye, and me, aye. Okay, motion carries there. Next item is new business. Oh, wait. ratification, applications for licensure. Is there any, and there's no public people, so do I still need to ask if there's any public people that want to testify? Not if there's any here, right?
Correct.
Okay, cool. All right, so applications for license. And I guess they're over on the next page. And it is the licensees that are going to be, that are on the list are Shelby Hughes, Kylie, Harumi.
Chair, you don't have to read it. You can just say as attached to the agenda, you know.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
We've always read them, but that's okay. That's even better. Okay. Okay. So anybody want to make a motion, or do you want me to? Okay, I'll make a motion. We accept the applications for licensure as listed on page 5 of the agenda.
And I'll second that.
Seconded by Dr. Ogawa. All those in favor say aye. Dr. Klein. Okay, Dr. Ogawa. You
Aye.
said aye already. And myself, aye. Okay, so that carries. Okay, now we're going to talk about new business. Discussion of the scope of practice. That was a letter, I believe, we got from Amber B. Oh, is she on this list?
Amber Bloom. Yeah. No, I don't see them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Amber Bloom. She's basically asking us. It's kind of a long letter. Clarify. Let's see. She's clarifying. Wants to clarify extremity adjusting. I'm not sure if she has an actual question in here. Okay, so I guess she's just calling it to our attention, telling us extremity adjustments would be help align Hawaii with the national standards. In the past, what we did was just write her a letter and, say, thank you for your letter, and refer her to 442 and also to our administrative rules, specifically section 16-76-26 minimal clinical competencies on page 76-15. And in that section on page 76-18, under 8, on line 8, says manipulation of the articulations of the body. We can refer her to that section for the answer to her question. It should be to me, it's pretty specific. Anybody else have any comments on that?
Chair, if I may, this person doesn't really seem to be asking a question. It just seems to be she's advocating for statutory changes, which is, beyond the powers of this board. That's something that has to go for the legislature. So ultimately, I defer to the board on how it wishes to respond.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've done in the past. And our admin rules specifically, talk about extremity adjusting. So that may help her. I mean, does everybody think we should just write her back and just tell her that, or just let it go and just say that she's just informing us that we don't allow extremity, or that she's talking about extremity adjusting?
Is she just misinformed that we don't allow extremity adjusting? Like,
She's basically saying, I'm writing to specifically share information regarding a potential clarification to Hawaii's chiropractic statute relating to extremity adjusting. And then she goes across United States, chiropractors get training, blah, blah, blah. And then she says clarifying extremity adjusting would help align Hawaii with national standards, blah, blah, blah.
So she thinks it's unclear.
She's not really asking a question. She's just trying to call it to our attention that extremity adjusting would help align Hawaii. But
Right, but like what's she trying to call to our attention? Because we do allow extremity adjusting. So like
yeah, it's
calling
but
it to our attention that it's unclear in the statute.
Well, I think we should just write her back and just say, thanks for the letter, and please refer to clarify your issue on extremity adjusting in Hawaii. Please refer to our administrative rules that I quoted up earlier. And maybe she doesn't even know the rules exist. I don't know. Up to you guys. So
I guess would it be so bad to advise her not only of where to find it, but that extremity adjusting is allowed in the state of Hawaii? Like
we're just not being paid for it.
Right, but like, I mean, it sounds like she doesn't understand that.
That's what I'm thinking.
So if we can clarify it for her,
yeah.
I think it's not that helpful for us to refer her to the rules if she's someone who doesn't read and understand them already. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I guess what in your vein, you could say something like it's our interpretation that Hawaii does allow extremity adjusting. Please refer to the administrative rules.
Yeah, like I think we need
that discuss this on pages blah blah blah. Right?
Yeah,
that would. I think that's where, because I believe we should do. I know there's been other board members over the years that didn't believe that, but clearly it's in the admin rules. And correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if there's any attorneys in the room, but my when I was been dealing with this in the past, they said because the admin rules have been adopted and went through the public hearing process, blah blah blah, they become part of the law and help to clarify the law, basically. So I don't know if that's if other attorneys would agree with me with that interpretation, but that's what other attorneys have told me when we were dealing with issues with this in the past. So I don't have a problem saying that as a board that we can do extremities and to point her in the right direction, because that would probably help her. And now she has, if she's getting, if she needs clarification or some kind of written thing to support her treating extremities, then she can use that the admin rules where it's clearly written. So do we need a motion for that, or can we just say write a letter? Anybody want to take that? So do we need a motion to write this letter to respond to her?
It would probably be the cleaner and safer way to do it.
Okay.
For the record, yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we respond to her and tell her that it is the opinion of the board that we can treat extremities, and also refer her to where it is discussed in the admin rules on the sections that I listed earlier. Is that too nebulous? Okay, don't all speak at once.
I don't think so.
Okay. And then, so I need a second on that, if you guys want to second that. Or if you have an amendment that sounds better, Dr. Klein, which you always have wonderful language that you come up with. What's that?
I thought your language was great.
Oh, okay. So is that a second?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, motion seconded. All those in favor, or any other discussion? If no, all those in favor say aye. Dr. Klein?
Aye.
Dr. Ogawa?
Aye.
And myself, aye. Okay. Next item is continuing education for the test committee, the Part 4 Test Development Committee. And I think that, was that attended by you, Dr. Klein?
Yes.
And so you're getting approval, that's for you, because I don't have anything, who it's for or anything. That's for you though, right?
Yes, I submitted.
Okay, well, I'll make a motion that we approve your hours for the Part 4 Test Development Committee, February 20 and 21st. Problem is, well, I know you have to vote on that. Are you comfortable voting on that, Dr. Klein?
I am, based on the facts, like based on the precedent that we have always approved in the past.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
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 Dr. Ogawa says aye, Dr. Klein says aye, and myself says aye.
One second. It's conflict of interest.
I mean, it's the same if they all end up voting on it, so, yeah.
What's that? What was that? I missed
No,
that.
I was just asking the deck whether it's better second by Dr. Ogawa, so. When he
Oh,
said it doesn't.
It doesn't matter since you're all voting on it, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't second it. I'm just comfortable voting on it.
well, you did second it actually, but
I did?
yeah, you did. But like you said, it doesn't matter.
We can revote, so that chair.
I'm sorry, I thought you asked if I was comfortable voting on it. I am
Okay.
comfortable voting on it.
Oh, yeah, I did. I might have not have asked it the right way. Okay, so how do we do this? We can take it back and ask the question again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Dr. Ogawa, do you want to?
I will second that.
Okay, so Dr. Ogawa is seconding my motion for the discussion of the. Oh, wait, no, for the approving the CE credits for Dr. Klein. Okay, now all those in favor say aye.
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 Dr. Ogawa, aye. Dr. Klein, aye. And myself, aye. Okay, cool. Next one is B, ratification of CE courses. There is a bunch of them. And I move that we accept the CE courses, new applications, and re-registered on the attached list to the agenda. I just need a second.
I will second that.
Dr. Ogawa seconds it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Dr.
Aye.
Ogawa, aye. Dr. Klein, aye. And myself, aye. Okay, we are moving along. We might get something done today. Okay, next one is 6, update on the 2026 legislative session. It's regarding
Someone.
oh, I'm sorry, I can't quite hear you there.
One's in the waiting room. I think it's Teresa.
Oh, somebody's in the way. Oh, okay.
Ratify the CE courses?
You said,
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
So I see Teresa Hernandez has joined the meeting, and she's a board member, so she's part of the board. Thanks for coming, Teresa.
Hi.
So just a late entry for the board.
If you want, because they
Now
still.
we have a quorum, so Dr. Klein can be recused.
Okay.
Okay, since now we have a more than quorum, can we go back to item 5A?
Sure.
So I rather have a Dr. Klein.
Yeah,
sure. From this voting. Okay, so
That's clear. I'll
Okay.
make the same. I'll make the same motion.
You got to explain to
And-
Teresa what it is.
Oh, sorry, Teresa. It's Dr. Klein is asking for approval of her hours that she attended the Part 4 Test Development Committee at the National Board, I believe in Greeley, on February 20th and 21st of this year. And I made a motion that accepted it, that we should accept it. And that will be, so I'll make the new motion again, same as before. And
And
Dr.
I'll
Ogawa-
second that. I'll second
yeah,
it.
Dr.
Yeah.
Ogawa seconds it. And then Dr. Klein is going to recuse. And all those in favor say aye. Dr.
Aye.
Ogawa,
Aye.
Teresa.
Aye.
Oh, thank you. And I say aye. Okay, motion carries. Very good. We already did part B. And now we're on the part 6 update on the 2026 session. And it's a discussion on this on Senate Bill number 2050, House Draft 2. Looks like it's gone quite a ways.
It passed yesterday, so it became a bill.
Oh, it passed the
Yes.
committee.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Mhm. So we gotta put more definitions in our rule. So I think this is a perfect time, so.
Oh my goodness gracious. I mean, it took us, Rachel knows how many years to even get to this point. I kind of had to laugh when I saw the effective date is on July 1st. And we're supposed to come up with rules before then. That should be interesting.
So about that, Chair, what was approved was a conference draft with some amendments, namely to the effective date. Unfortunately, the conference draft isn't available publicly yet, but from the conference meeting discussions, what the legislature or the committees made it sound as if was that they were concerned about the board's ability to promulgate rules in time and that they would try to give more time to the board. So we'll
Okay.
have to see what the actual effective date ends up being.
Mhm.
The latest version was July 1st, 2028, which
Right.
does give the board some time.
So, I mean, we're right in the middle of doing this revision of our rules. So, and in order, and because it's not a law yet, right? It's got to be signed before it's a law, correct?
That's correct. Although
Or-
I can't imagine the governor vetoing this one.
No, probably not. Hard to say. But I mean, part of me says, should we move forward with what we've got? And you have to go through public hearings and all that kind of stuff. And then we'd have to redo it again and go through public hearings and all that stuff again, right?
You would have to do that if you're trying to do this separately, so to speak.
Uh,
I'm a little confused about the passage of this bill. I thought that the board would have to adopt rules for this new thing, not make statutory definition changes.
That's correct. You would have to amend your rules based on this bill once it
Right.
goes into effect.
But not like we're not making a change. We're making a change to internal board rules, right?
well, yes, to enact the law, but you remember Andrew, gosh, months ago when we were talking about this, and he recommended, he thought it should be a statutory change because we're actually changing the definition.
Yeah, but that was if we were trying to implement these things.
Right. So
I don't think we need to make statutory changes because this bill is effectively doing that.
Well, that's
the
what
statute
statutory
requires
change.
the statute requires the board to promulgate new rules in accordance with the statutory changes.
Right, but board rules, not
Board rules.
not an HRS change, like not
you guys can't do that anyways. So.
Right, exactly. So so I'm saying that the rules, the changes that we're working on, that we've been working on, like that's a separate issue.
Well,
Yes and no, because the HAR changes do have to go through a public hearing process. So if you move forward with the current version that you're viewing today, then there's that. And then you're going to have to make more changes in the future in accordance with this bill. That's also going to require another public hearing process.
Right, but my understanding from previous discussions about very similar things was that what this new bill is requiring us to do is not HAR changes. It's an internal board rule, like in the way a formulary change.
No. These are HAR changes.
This is going to be a new law. This is going to be part of.
No, rule.
I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that, but
Okay.
but the boards, like previously, what we talked about in a very similar circumstance was that the board was going to make internal rules for how it handled this.
That's
Okay.
not what the board and the bill mandates. The bill mandates the board shall adopt rules pursuant to Chapter 91, which is HAR proceedings.
Okay.
So we don't have to work on these statutes today, but maybe now you have, once they have the conference bill, we can send you the copy, but something we have to put in our rule, like a supervision definition, and then student definition, and the clinical practice definition. We gotta add those. That's what legislation was really concerned about, the relating to public safety. So nowadays, because of supervision, people are asking, can it be done by virtually? So is that
Can what,
how you
can what be done virtually?
supervision? So
gotcha. They
you
have to
wanna
be-
put that definition, gotta be, just like give you an example, like an electrician plumber. They're really strict about supervisor gotta be within 5 feet, so.
Well, this law on under number 3B, it says be physically, the student is directly supervised by the supervising chiropractor, provided that the supervising chiropractor shall be physically present at the location where services are provided.
Okay.
So to me, that's not virtual.
Can all the important definitions for this law to take effect be in the law?
Well, but they're right. But here's the thing, though. They're saying well, you could be, but then if they don't put it in there, then we're kind of forced to clarify it, right? Because like 3A, for example, says the supervising chiro just needs to be licensed to practice. Well, to me, I think they should be in practice for at least 5 years, or have some experience under their belt before they start educating a student when they were just a student. So, or something like that. So I think they're looking to us to, do we need a yearly requirement to practice, that kind of thing. And then they list, it says the board shall adopt rules, and then including qualifications for the supervising chiropractor, which would be what I just talked about. The permissible scope of clinical services that may be provided by the chiropractic student. I don't see how the legislature would know that. Supervision requirements, documentation reporting requirements, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Does that answer? Is that?
Yes.
So like a marriage family therapist, their supervision requirement, supervisor cannot supervise more than 6 at the same time. And also
that's a good point, too.
and supervisor gotta have at least 2 years experience, prior to the supervising the apprentice study, that kind of thing, so we can put it in our rule, more specific is better, because we have to submit a report to the legislators by January 1st, 2027. They want to see how we're gonna implement all these things, so.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Limiting the number of interns they can supervise per whatever we're calling this person, supervising chiro. So I think we have some work to do on that. I guess the question for me, for the rest of the board is, do we want to continue with what we've got and try to push that through before we work on this law, which probably won't become law until June or July unless he signs it right away or lets it become law without a signature. It's hard to say. Anybody have an opinion on that?
Changes twice.
Right. It would be twice, but
I mean, we've been working on these changes that we've been trying to do for 6, 7 years.
a long time.
You know, so I think that I personally feel that one, we shouldn't prioritize this because like I don't feel that this should get priority over other important rules changes that this board has been discussing for years and needs to make for the safety of everyone.
Right.
You know, I don't, just because some students want to practice now, like I don't think that we should be prioritizing this because it successfully got through the ledge. Like it's no more, like it's important that we do what the legislatures are asking of us, but it's not more important than our job, you know, to keep the public safe, which is the whole reason we were trying to update the rules in the first place. So I think that if anything, it should be, you know, we should do these changes at the same time, and it should be perhaps the fire under us to get it completed and finally turned in. But I definitely don't think that we should be doing these, you know, until we're finished with what we were already working on.
Well, just to let you know, there's 18 steps for rulemaking. So we are still on step 1.
Exactly.
So when we are, what I'm thinking, when I'm guessing maybe we are at step 9, this become a bill, then we kind of stuck at step 9. We got to start all over again, you know, so we can, at that point, we cannot, this one keep going and then this amendment following after. You understand what I mean? Right?
No, actually, I don't understand what you mean.
Well, I think what Dr. Klein was saying was that we might as well just hammer both the existing changes and what this bill is.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't think that's going to require us to start over.
Okay, we can do it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really, you know, it's still, the rule changes are still within the board's control right now because you guys are still hammering out the language. So to the extent we can try finish out what we have working on right now, then probably the better. If that makes sense, yeah.
So this one, like a homework to the board. You know?
I suppose that's, I'd hate to use that word, but.
Okay, so what I'm getting is we should work on the rules and the changes that we've already done, come to an agreement on the existing discussions that we've had, and then add this in. Or I also got the impression that we should already start working on this so that once it becomes law, we can just put it in and be done with it and not have to delay it any longer than it already has been. Is that kind of what you're saying, Dr. Klein?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I think we should do it all together and we should get it all done.
Okay. And then, because if it's going to be a law before the summer's out, then what do we have? 1 or 2
There's no
meetings?
way they didn't give us more time than that. Come on. Like,
or having a working group, you know, like a PIC with Dr. Klein and, you know, so they can report to the board.
Well, a pig is kind of cumbersome because you have to do 3 steps. It's not so much the working part. Again, section 1 is where it requires the board to adopt Chapter 91 rules, and that's not effective until July 1st, 2028. I'm not trying to drag this out, but you know, you're not so much going to be forced to come up with rules by July of this year, as I read it. That said, you know, I would want to see the final version of this bill once it comes out.
Right.
Yeah, and so I think the best course is just for the board to continue to work on the language, try to get this done all in one shot, as Dr. Klein is suggesting. I'm happy to continue to work with her to hammer this out, but I think there are certain provisions that we need board input to continue hammering out.
You mean that for the new law, you mean?
For the proposed rules right now, yeah, not
Oh.
just the new language from the bill, but what you guys have been working on. There are some parts I think I'd like to go over with you guys as the board.
Is that
Okay.
not part of today's meeting?
Yeah, which is part of today's meeting. So I guess what I'm trying to get at is maybe we can move on to the next agenda item.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
This one, we just put it on hold.
Number 6.
Yeah.
Right, because you
Well-
guys aren't deciding to submit testimony, that has already passed. So maybe you can continue to the next meeting so that you can discuss the updated version of the bill once it comes out.
Okay.
Can I suggest that between now and the next meeting, because our meetings are so spread out, that we pick 1 or 2 people to look over the current bill that passed, and as soon as that language becomes available, and at least draft, maybe with your help, the suggested rules, and then we can use it as a jumping off point so that next time it's not just let's
Right,
discuss
yeah.
it, but we can have a framework to be.
Sure, that's what I suggest. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't make it a pig, just pick 1 or 2 people. Because
Right.
pigs require 3 meetings to get done, and that's going to take you guys way too long.
Okay. Less
Yeah.
than.
And 2 board members can talk to each other, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, I'm willing to work on this in between.
Okay.
As soon as we have that language, I don't know if anyone else wants to work on it. Wants to
Sure.
use a strong word, but
Okay. Yeah, I'd be happy to throw my hat in there, or anybody else too.
Yeah, 2 people volunteering. That's all. Yeah. So, we'll just say that for the purposes of today, Chair Pleiss and Vice Chair Dr. Klein have graciously volunteered to just take the lead on this.
Okay. Just for this bill.
Right. Or to work on the language from the bill. Yes. Yes.
Right. And so I have a question. Are any board members terming out in June? I thought Dr. Klein was, or a board member is terming out on end of June.
I think
This
I
year.
am, but I'm not sure. I think it.
I should be as well. I thought I should be soon. I think Lisa and I joined at the same time.
You
So we
remember
might
when
have-
you? Sorry. Go ahead.
I think they're both on their second terms.
Yeah,
Right?
we're both on our second terms. Do you have those dates?
I'm pulling on.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Dr. Ogawa.
When in June?
End of
And
June
June.
30, 2026.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
June 30, 2026.
Like to see.
Dr. Klein is a 2027. We have 1 more year for you, so.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
I
I mean, yay!
I don't think I've heard anybody laugh altogether like that before.
Sorry. I would
And-
really like to very strongly urge that we try to get this completed before Dr. Ogawa's term.
Sure.
is over,
Okay.
because there's a lot of history and context to these rules we've been working on for years, and I just feel like if we have to start all over again explaining our thought process and everything to another person who replaces her, who takes her seat, it's gonna slow things down dramatically. And so I would really, really hope that before the end of her term, we can just vote on these rules we've been working on and finalize them.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. But you know what? I don't understand why I would term out a year before you, because we started at the same
I
time.
don't understand either. I know that we both, I think,
Oh,
took over the remainder of
Yeah, so-
other people's terms, and so those might have been different times.
right. That's what it was. Yeah. And how is it that the rules are? If I stay out 1 term, I can apply again? Is that
No,
how?
1
Gotta
year.
take a 1 year break.
1 year, okay.
Yeah. Assuming nobody's gonna fill it. Okay. Okay, so now we're on the draft. We're on number 7, agenda 7, the draft rules.
To talk outside.
Before we dive into that, Chair,
I'm sorry?
before we dive into that, so if we are gonna set a goal of trying to complete this before the end of June, like, do we need to add a special meeting?
We
for
have,
this?
we have a meeting in June.
We should have a
Right.
meeting here.
But we're probably not gonna be able to do it. in-
Actually, May,
right?
well, it was May, but this one got moved. Oh, who knows? When is the next meeting gonna be scheduled, Young?
Next one. For a second, pull it out again.
June 17th.
June 17.
Okay,
So
assuming we're not gonna cancel it.
Oh, no.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
schedule an additional meeting so that we have a meeting in May and a meeting in June for this purpose, so that we can make sure that it gets done before the end of Dr. Ogawa's term.
I gotta check the staff availability and room availability. So reason I moved to today, we didn't have a room available, so, yeah.
Okay, if you would check on that, I think that would be a really good thing, because
Sure.
I think
We'll
that
check.
with these new rules that we need to add, because of this piece of legislation, we're gonna need to have a meeting to discuss the draft and then go back and work on the draft some more, and then another meeting to finalize it.
Okay. I will email you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so the rules, I think, as I remember from last time, and we went through page by page, and I don't think there was a whole lot of corrections that needed to be done other than towards the end. And this one is a little, I guess we should go page by page through this thing again.
It's how the board wishes to proceed, just a little bit of context. So based on my conversations with Dr. Klein, we opted to clean this up because up until now, the revisions had revisions on revisions, which got really confusing. So
Right.
it's cleaner in the sense that it only has revisions to the original existing language.
Thank you.
So it doesn't have revisions on revisions. It's just
Oh, I see.
and then what is proposed. That's it.
Sure. Just the underline is new.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Does anybody see anything that needs to be discussed?
Well, Chair, if that's the case, I did want to bring the board's attention to
Yeah,
starting on page 76-6. This is HAR 16-76-8. If you go down, it goes over to the next page, but there's a comment that the board discussed to remove 16-76-8B and parts of C. So I left those provisions intact for now because I wasn't clear which parts, especially with C, that the board was interested in cleaning up.
I'm
But this
sorry,
was a part.
would you repeat that? Which one was that? Sorry.
So, well, sorry, this is starting on page 76-7, actually, at the very top. The first line in the brackets is the internal comments.
Mhm.
It says
Okay,
the
what-
board discussed to remove 16-76-8B and parts of C, but doesn't look like anything got removed. So we are asking whether board still wants to, what you discussed earlier.
Sorry, can you say it one more time? 76 dash what?
7, that's the page.
The
Mhm.
top,
I don't ever remember discussing this.
Okay, so what you're saying is on 76, on page 76-6 under B, we originally wanted to remove that and also remove some parts of C that aren't, we don't know which parts of C we wanted to do, right?
Still can't find
Yes,
what we're talking
yes.
about.
What's that?
I still cannot find what we're talking about.
Oh, it's in on the agenda.
Dr. Klein, which version of the rules are you looking at? Can you go scroll to maybe the very first page and check which draft you're looking at?
Draft 15.
No, we're on draft 16.
Well, 15 says the same thing.
Oh, I have draft 15.
Yeah, 15. 15, when you look at the page, it's 76-7, page number 76-7. When you,
Looking at it electronically and it doesn't show any page numbers. That's why I'm having a hard time finding it.
oh, I see. Okay, so go to 16-76-8, educational requirements.
Great. Okay.
So after
I'm looking
B,
now.
before C, parenthesis C on top, right people, C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Found
I'm
it?
looking now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so Chris, what are you saying? The draft you looked at had B missing or B taken out and some other
I
things.
didn't take out any. Okay, sorry, Dr. Klein.
And then you put it back in. Is that what
No,
you're saying?
I didn't take anything out. It's just, I just noted there was that note. So that's what I wanted to check and discuss with the board about.
I know.
Oh, okay.
This is from when I went to the FCLB meeting a couple of years ago, and the folks from CCE approached us, and they advised that we make changes to this section because basically the curriculum at the various schools has changed, and so the hours requirements that are outlined in our rules are outdated. Like the hours and the subject breakdown and all of that. So they gave us suggested language, and they're recommending changes to states that have vulnerable rules because there was an issue in Florida where somebody challenged the validity of licenses based on the fact that the rules were outdated in their breakdown of hours. And so their recommendation essentially is that our rules say something like, like properly accredited schools by thus and such, but don't actually outline what the accreditation requirements are, because those are up to that organization to manage. And because the curriculums are changing really rapidly, what is considered a fully accredited, full and accredited program is different than it was like 10 years ago.
I remember now we talked about this, yeah.
Yeah.
And do you have the new language that they recommend?
I do, but I need to find it. I've got an email from FCLB somewhere, but I can certainly get it to Chris.
Yes, if you could send that over, then I'd be happy to make those changes.
Yeah, that's what that whole section was about, was just like our rules are sort of outdated in this department, and we need to craft it in a way where it's just more flexible should the CCE make official changes. And then there was also some discussion of like how to word it so that because it says like DOE or something, right? Yeah, it has the US DOE. And there was just we had some discussion as well about if these organizations change, which, with everything going on with like federal higher education management, we want to make sure that the language is, flexible enough should things get restructured or something.
So some more generic might be better. So something like that's currently recognized by blah, 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 blah.
Well, like we could say something like the USD DOE or, its future equivalent. or something.
Sure. Okay, so basically you're going to forward that information to Chris and he's going to change that.
Yes, I will do that.
And okay, and then I guess we'll have to look at it again once you get that.
Yeah, that'll be part of the next meeting, I guess.
Okay.
And then if it's okay with the board for the next draft, I do just intend to take out the comments and just submit a clean revision so you guys can just finalize it and be done with this.
That'd be
Sure.
great.
Yeah.
You mean be done before the law, and so we're gonna do it before the law, right? Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's not going to go into effect, but we'll be done
I,
before Dr.
I-
Regalla's term is over.
I,
More
I'm just giving Chris a little hot rub there. Since you are a lawyer, right? And everything that comes out of your mouth, you probably have to think about 100 times.
Probably think about it a little more before I say things, but
Okay. All right. So let's see. Moving on here.
That's a 76 dash
Where
10.
am I here?
sure. The next provision we wanted to highlight was 16. I'm just gonna name the provision instead of the page then.
Great.
So it's
Sure.
16-76-10. This is regarding the Chiropractic Information Network Board Action Data Bank. Paragraph C, this is the part about the self-query report being deemed confidential. Let me know when you're all there with me.
Yeah, I'm
So
there.
this one, I did reword it from the query report shall be considered confidential in accordance with Chapter 92F Hawaii Revised Statutes to the board shall treat the self-query report as confidential information in accordance with Chapter 92F HRS. And basically the reason I did that is you guys are technically not a legislative body or a court of law. So with the way you initially phrased it, it almost sounded as if you guys are trying to declare this confidential as a matter of law, which is kind of beyond your guys' purview. What is within your purview is how the board operates on how it handles applications and renewals. So I've restructured it to be more in line with that view, basically, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Sure. That
Okay.
sounds good.
Next is HAR 16-76-38.1.
38. Wow, we are moving.
Yep.
See a smile on Rachel's face. Okay, go ahead.
So this is the continuing education credit for chiropractors providing assistance. We've retweaked this to specify the organizations, the National NBCE and the FCLB. And we understand that these entities are discussing a potential merger. So we've also put in a catch-all language saying a successor to these organizations. We've
What?
made it so that because it's been routine practice for the board to recognize continuing education credit for these assistance to these entities. So it's essentially done so that it's deemed approved, but that upon request, the chiropractor will provide the letter from these organizations attesting to the number of assistance hours provided that are going to be eligible.
Chris, I'm kind of lost where you're at. I thought you were on 1676-38.
0.1.
0.1.
Oh, down there.
Sorry about that.
Okay, okay.
So this week, the main
Oh,
thing
oh.
we changed it to specify the organizations because it used to say some generic like nonprofit chiropractic organizations. Like the language was so generic that you couldn't really tell what it was talking about.
Mhm.
Okay, and this is what you wrote, Chris, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, cool. Yeah, if that's good. I'm glad you're going through this stuff. Anybody have any issues with that paragraph? I take it that's a no.
So
Okay.
38.1 wasn't originally in the rules, so this is an entirely new provision that the board is adding, just for clarification.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right, moving on then is, sorry, I just lost my email. It's HAR 16-76-41. That is the requirements for approved programs.
Okay.
So this one, we added a new section A, paragraph A, to enumerate some pre-approved or automatically approved entities, that namely being FCLB, MBCE, any national or state chiropractic organizations as approved by the board to provide the board with some flexibility. And yeah, there's a couple more. And then moving on to the next page, basically, or paragraph B. So this one, the indentations have been moved around. I've taken into consideration the board's comments and desires, so it's been reorganized to try honor the intent and desires of this board. So this is talking about what the program sponsor will submit to the board. Yeah, it's been cleaned up. And then you have paragraphs D and E, which talks about the board utilizing the PACE program and individuals being able to request approval of a CE program by other submission procedures.
Okay, so basically the big change or from the other rules were we used to have you had to submit it 45 days prior. And now we're allowing for 90 days after the date of the program for approval, right?
That seems to be the case.
Yes, because we discussed how often people don't, like, you could sign up for a seminar that you just heard about and
Right.
it's already past the 45-day window and you didn't even know about the seminar.
Right. So basically a program sponsor can apply after they've given the seminar already.
I thought
This was, I think, for the individual
for
licensee.
individuals, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's specifically in that individual licensee portion.
Yeah, I can see that, but under number 2 above where it's program sponsor gives them 90 days after the date of the program. Right? And then isn't it the same thing for an individual if they want to submit? So is that?
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it does.
Is that,
I don't know.
is that what we want?
What is there any reason we should have a problem with that? Because I think the reason we discussed that was that if the program sponsor puts on the seminar and they didn't anticipate that someone from Hawaii was going to come, but somebody from Hawaii does come, then they can apply for it to be counted, right?
That's a good point. Yeah. I think in making it easier for people to get their CEs, the better, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a legitimate CE, does it really matter, exactly when they apply, all that kind of thing?
Sure.
I still think that maybe I feel like we should look at laying this section out even more clearly where there's the distinction between like full programs and individual applications.
A different application process?
Well, like, because it's unclear to me, like, is the individual licensee, are they just submitting something to the board? Like, because in the past, they have just submitted a request to the board, right? Is that the process, or do they have to go through the sponsor application, which doesn't make sense because it's the wrong application form? But like, do they have to pay an administrative fee? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there, because previously they've just been submitting the same like sort of materials, but to the board, like any kind of supportive materials to the board directly. It's been discussed at a board meeting and that's been the end of it. As opposed, like, as opposed to, there being some kind of application form specifically for that and some kind of fee associated with it. I'm not saying there should be. I'm just wondering if there needs to be some clarity about the process for the individuals being different from the sponsors.
Well, yeah, it makes sense because this says a program sponsor agreement. Well, the individual is not sponsoring anything. So that form would be kind of confusing in the first place. So does that mean we need to come up with a form? Hey, your dad's really good at forms, by the way. Not that I'm volunteering him, but I kind of am.
Oh, he'd be so thrilled.
So I think that's a good point. Is there some simple thing that they need to fill out, or do they just?
Yeah, I'm not saying there necessarily needs to be. I just think it needs to be clear how they would go about applying.
Well, I wonder if it's easier for them to submit a written request with submitting the program schedule outline or other program documentation. That's all they need. They don't need to fill anything else in.
Yeah, I mean, that works. I mean, because that's currently what people do, right? Like I emailed
Right.
and said,
sure. Yeah.
Discuss this.
I leave the program sponsor agreement for the program sponsors, but just somehow maybe add something in there that says provide the board with a letter, or something adding, not, they don't have to fill out that form, but this doesn't really say they have to fill out a form. This basically says may submit a request for approval, which is just like a letter, right? It doesn't say they have to fill out a program sponsor agreement.
Yeah, so maybe the way it's worded is fine. I was sort of just bringing it to our attention.
Is that clear enough, you think? I mean, I wonder how many chiros actually read these rules.
I'm pretty sure half the chiros don't even know they exist.
Well, the one that asked the question on extremities didn't. Okay. I don't know, Chris, do you think that needs a clarification from a letter, or do you think that the language is fine and they just, I mean, after all, we have how many years of education? They should be able to figure that out.
Yeah, maybe just for clarification, we can just add the word written, may submit a written request. And that
there
way
you go.
that should just give them enough. Yeah, okay.
Perfect.
That should give them a heads up. It should be a letter or something. It may be a little rigid to subscribe a form. So
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think it could be an email. It just can't be, they can't call and ask.
Exactly.
Yeah, written. God, do we have to spoon feed them and say email? And
No. I'm just saying, like, a written thing could mean a letter in the mail. It could mean an email or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It just means that they have to put it in writing. And
Sure. Okay. And no, I don't. Any other discussion on that? I don't think so. Okay, what's next there, Mr. Chris?
Last substantive change is HAR 16-76-45. This is also a new provision. The current rules only go up to 44. So this is denial of withdrawal of a program approval.
Is this something you came up with?
This was in the last draft, so
it was okay.
Yes.
I was just curious because it seems like
I didn't come up with it.
You've been on this thing. It looks like that's great.
Dr. Klein's been very knowledgeable and helpful, so thank you, Dr. Klein.
thank you. It's very important.
We're gonna nickname her Dr. Google.
Prefer ChatGPT. Thank you very much.
What's that? Yeah, I'm having trouble hearing you. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
Right, so this just lays out procedures for the board to deny or withdraw program approval. Usually it's, well, of course, going to be for good cause, including failure to meet program criteria or, sorry, just a second. Yeah, so it's really just laying out the criteria for what happens if the board decides to deny or withdraw program approval. I haven't made any changes from the prior draft, just to be clear. Yeah.
There used to be something somewhere, I don't recall what section it was in, but there used to be a thing about how the board members could attend any of these
It's still there.
programs.
It's still, I saw that. I read this over this morning and I saw that. Where did I see that? It's still in here somewhere.
Okay.
Where
Well,
was
because it
that?
seems like this is related to that. So I'm wondering if wherever that is in the right place, if that should get pulled down into this section.
Sorry, Dr. Klein, could you repeat what you mentioned about something about a board provision regarding board members being able to attend?
Yeah, it used to say something, it says something somewhere about how board members can attend any of these CE things to like check on their like validity or like to review them.
I saw that in here. It's in here somewhere. I saw that this
Like
morning.
so if we wanted to randomly spot check or we weren't sure about a particular program or something, we could attend it to like observe how it's going.
Here I found it. It's on it's under 16-76-41 under under 4 on the next page.
Yes, under B4, any board member or board designee shall have the right to inspect or audit any course that is approved or being considered for approval.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's great. I just wanted to make sure we don't lose that in this.
Yeah, no, that's still in there. That's what you mean, right? Right.
Yeah, that is what I mean.
Okay, cool.
Because then I wonder if there's, if there should be any link to that in this section, like where it's saying like, the reasons that we might deny or withdraw, like could there also be some catch-all of like because the board went and observed something that was not kosher?
I don't think it needs that. It says prior that the board can show up, and then this says for good cause, and I would guess that.
Oh, so that could just count under good cause.
Sure, it's going to be described what the good cause is, right? When they
Okay.
tell that we can't do the program.
Okay.
I would think.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I would think that should be okay. Because it already says it prior, right? So it doesn't take that away.
Okay.
Did you guys want to maybe move paragraph B4 out to somewhere else? Because I'm talking about 16-76-41, of course, but the reason I'm suggesting that is actually, never mind. I misread it. Please disregard that.
Okay. So we're back on 45?
Yes.
Okay. And what do we need to do with this guy?
I think it was just discussions, Dr. Klein raising the point about the board's ability to audit. And since that has been provided under 41, unless the board has any other concerns, that's pretty much all the substantive changes of note for the HARs.
Okay, the right to hearing. Okay, transfer. Hearing is found. Okay.
I think this all looks good. I think that, we can move forward with a lot of this and then focus on some of the new stuff that we need to add.
So is that, yeah, is there anything else? Or is that the last of any corrections that we need to do?
Well, the other
Okay.
changes were minor typographical, stylistic,
Okay.
or corrections. So, for example, 16-76-44, we just cleaned it up to say the board may consider the approval of a continuing education program or renewal of a license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so things
Yeah,
such as that.
That's all lawyer speak. It says may, shall.
Pretty much, pretty much. So.
It's like,
I have a question. Several times we have discussed the period of time from when a student graduates till they get their license, whether they were allowed to practice under another chiropractic license. And we were discussing, and we said no, right? They have to have a license, right? Because it's too muddy, that water, right?
the only way they can do that is if they're in the program.
Right, but
Right?
they're not in the program as soon as they graduate, right?
Right, then they can't.
Exactly. So, but we
Right.
discussed that in the past. So I just want to make sure that we have that clear.
Well, I think we wanted to add a provision
If you
because
want to
of
go,
But we found that it was legally too risky because technically it would be a person practicing without a license until they got their
Right.
license.
and isn't that's gonna be when we do the rules for the new law too, right?
Right. So I just want to make sure that we address that we don't forget that because I feel that's very important.
Okay, and so basically not practicing after they graduate.
Right, because remember,
Before they get a license.
if they're within the program from one of the colleges, and then they wish to continue to work with that doctor after they graduate, but there is 6 months or whatever for some reason that they are not getting their physical license, are they still allowed to practice? We talked about that. I just want to make sure that that's clear.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't, go ahead.
Well, I thought part of the reason we were talking about that too, though, was that we were taking, because we had a number of canceled meetings, like we were taking a really long time to issue licenses. And so I think that was why we talked about that initially.
I think so, but I also think that it's very risky. What is your Mr. Attorney? What is your
Chris.
Well, I did want to point the board's attention to 16-76-20, license required to practice chiropractic either as an individual or under supervision or in employment of a licensed chiropractor. And it does have a provision saying that any person who is found practicing chiropractic before receiving a license from the board may be denied licensure. So you do have some sort of accountability mechanism. The complication now, of course, is this bill that is just about to pass. We're going to have to make some additional provisions about students, and we'll just have to clean up the language to make sure those two are separate, clearly delineated separately.
Question though, when someone submits a license application and they check all the boxes, like there's nothing about their license that gets it pulled out of line. Do they receive something from the board prior to the board meeting where we ratify those license applications? Or are they waiting until our board meeting to actually receive their license?
As far as I know, they get their license and then we ratify their license after the fact.
Yeah,
So
that's what I thought too, but that's what I'm asking.
So too. So therefore, they wouldn't be a problem initially.
we're not waiting. As soon as they're
right.
and I think Young can clarify, or wait, not Young. Our new EO can clarify that.
Yes, so all the people on the list already got their license and you guys are just ratifying.
Okay.
This is a formality, yeah.
Okay, then that's not a problem.
Then there's no problem. Yeah.
Okay, good. Never mind.
But this one, 16-76-20, we gotta amend.
Yeah, we gotta fix it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That?
That's one.
Oh, no, Young was pointing out that we are gonna have to fix 16-76-20 because of this student practicing bill.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
And all we need to do is add some language in there that says like except for student and approved student
Exactly.
or something like
Right,
that.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So does that mean we're done with the rules?
Well, seems like we're gonna need to do one more round of revisions, but
Oh,
this
okay.
meeting has
No,
been
I know,
very
but
productive.
we're so close I can taste it.
Yeah, I think we're good for today. We've made a lot of progress and
And
fingers crossed.
Dr. Klein is smiling.
It's so rare these days.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
You know, when I first joined this board, I was a very happy person. Um,
Are you saying the board changed your affect? How does that work? Where's your dad when we need him? I'm teasing. I love your dad. He's the first chiropractor I met in Hawaii. Your dad. And we went to lunch at some place down by the office. Anyway, and I think he had just bought Oli's practice like a year or two before. Anyway. Okay, so where are we at? We're done with that. Holy smokes. So I think we're done, right?
Right. Just announcement on the next board meeting, June 17th, it seems.
The question is, how many weeks do you need to come up with some the languages based on SB 2050?
I think that we can get it done pretty quickly once we have the conference draft.
Okay.
So it just depends how long it takes us to get the conference draft, and then however long you need after that time to notice the next meeting, right?
Right.
So that's 6 calendar days before the meeting. So to the extent we can shoot for early June to have the new draft completed so that we can have it out on the agenda, that'd be great.
Well,
Okay,
like I said, I think we need 2 meetings to finish it. So I think that
For sure.
we try to have a meeting, like at the end of May sometime. So there's a couple weeks in between before that June meeting.
Because
So next official meet. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that June meeting will be the last meeting that I'm there.
Right.
Right.
So June 17th is the last meeting with Dr. Ogawa. So I'm looking at the calendar. Only day room is available is either May 20 or May 27.
Either day is fine with me.
Okay, we need a quorum, yeah?
I'm available either day.
You okay?
You're not?
What?
You are available?
I am. Would this be?
What?
I mean, I prefer to do this stuff in person, but if I just didn't come in person today because I was like, well, if nobody else is coming in person, it doesn't make sense.
Well, chairs are traveling all the time nowadays, so.
Yeah, I'm in Rochester, Minnesota as we speak.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind, Rachel. Maybe just email me when you want to talk and we can work out that time difference somehow.
Yeah, no, I was only saying that because on the 20th I can definitely do in person. The 27th I might only be able to do virtual because I have another meeting that day.
I can do both days virtual.
Okay, what about Ms. Hernandez?
The 20th works better for me if we can do the 20th.
Okay. Try to schedule after check the step availability. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so Dr. Klein, you can either text me or email me or something. Just keep it. I'll be anywhere. Right now I'm 5 hours. Probably by then I will be 6 hours difference.
Okay.
But so email, I check email all the time.
Okay.
And then I can tell me when you want to get together and we can work it out.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Cool.
And then I'm just FYI, I'm taking a little sabbatical this summer, and so I will be doing the June 17th meeting from a different time zone also.
Ooh.
So I'll have to be virtual for that one.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Is that it? I can't believe it. Into that thing. Appreciate your time, everybody. Nice meeting you all.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Chris, you're awesome, man. You've been on
you.
this stuff.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.